The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Dave, three big names today had a bit of an awakening time. Like one, we kind of knew that was going to happen. Two, we didn't know what was going to happen. He's kind of had a rough last few years, and I don't really care for the guy. And three, you don't care for the guy. He got basically told by the Denver Broncos, thanks, bye, see ya. We don't need your services around here anymore. I'm talking Josh Donaldson, who announced his retirement today after, I think it was 16 years in the big leagues. MVP year with the Toronto Blue Jays. Then you move on to Jason Kelce. Everybody kind of knew he was calling her a career after the playoffs this year. The way he was partying the Super Bowl, he may not be able to recover from the two times he's been around his brother having a good time. And then the third, Russell Wilson got told by the Denver Broncos, "You will not be playing on our team this year. He's going to get released." They still owe him $85 million. He might end up in the league somewhere. He's talented enough. That's a chunk of change. What's he gonna want to get paid? Even though the Broncos owe him a chunk of money. The thing about these three careers, Dave, they're all really good careers. Hall of Fame, that's to be debatable, but all really good careers. And do these all three guys? Kelce knew he was done. Donaldson probably didn't, but no one had any interest in him. And Wilson, he's got to be like, man, like I still think I got something here, and he might end up like it's just it's funny how three really not Hall of Fame careers, but really good careers kind of came to an end in separate ways today.
Yeah, it is interesting, and in like you say, like Jason Kelce being the only one who walked away on his own terms. I don't know what the lineup like is for centers getting to the Hall of Fame. Kelce, he had a long career. He's older than Travis, so I'm just guessing a 14 or 15-year career. Really likable guy and very popular, like with the podcast, and then now because of the fame of his brother, that always does help a person's chances to get to the Hall of Fame. I don't know how good he was or wasn't, but he's by far and away the more likable of the two Kelce brothers. Seems to have a really good of the three as well. It's kind of funny. The one that's walking away on his own accord is the one clearly to me with the best head on his shoulders between these three guys.
Yeah, you just wonder, like, when these players the rumblings are around the league when it comes to guys like this and all this thing. Like when you come to the end of the career, very rarely do guys play for the league minimum. Like very rarely. Like Corey Perry is in for Oilers now with Chicago Blackhawks. We don't want to get that whole ordeal again, but very rarely do these guys go out on the league minimum and saying like they want to go out on a high note. And for Donaldson, he was getting paid. I think he was still getting paid for another year by somebody, wherever he ended up going to at the end of his career.
The Yankees.
Last year. No, the Yankees got rid of him. He was in somewhere else, was like Minnesota or I can't remember. But it's crazy, like to think that Donaldson was only a couple of years ago. The stupid Yankees signed him or acquired him for a good chunk of change, and he was making like $28 million, and then all of a sudden it's just done 2 years later. Like I know that's how time works; it's just over eventually. But like how these GMs get it so wrong year after year, we're giving these guys big dollars at the end of their careers and go, well, we just hope for something. And then the players are the players. Actually, that's a good question. Are the players at a point in their career like, I'm good financially? Do they just shoot for the moon and say, yeah, I'll play for $25 million?
No, I think it's just what we always say when these contracts get handed out, especially when they're between the ages of 30, 33. Like when you're 30 and you're signing someone to an 8-year deal, you're not paying like the last 3 years of the deal. We are going to be severely overpaying this guy.
Yeah,
because it just father time is undefeated. You are going to be a diminishing asset, and when it goes quick, especially for players like Donaldson who. Speed, agility, and power were things that is a young man game. And once you start losing it, you start losing it. And you just cannot replicate or keep in tune your fast twitch muscles and your recovery period too. Donaldson was hurt all the time as well. it just hurts more and it's harder when you're older. Trust me, everything is. Like, and I don't even play professional sports. I got things to do,
Getting out of
and
bed's harder.
yeah, it takes me a bit.
Like
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 it's.
waking up, just the process of waking up is harder.
I'll tell you this. Like, so we walk. I walk my dog in the morning, and I walk my dog in the evening, and sometimes it's with my wife and kids. But when it's on the weekend, and I'm doing it with family, Jasper and Kaylee are way quicker than me in the morning, and it's like, come on, like this isn't our pace, and it's like it takes me a bit. Like my evening pace is quite quick, and I'm the fastest walker.
Yeah.
But when it's the first fucking 200 meters of walking in the morning, it you got to get those fucking joints lubricated a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
just simply it. Like, and it was actually enlightening to Kaylee. Like, really? Like, you can't walk that I go, no. Like, I can't walk. I can't walk afternoon fast because like it just takes the joints a little to lube up, and I can only imagine what it's like as a professional athlete at the age of like 36 to 40.
Like my thing with Donaldson, like back in 2015 when the Jays were all the rage, and all, you know what, Dave? 2015 all of a sudden's a long time ago. So really, we shouldn't be surprised that his career's over. And that's what people don't understand is like every athlete's career it has a shelf life and it's quick and it's over. Like you get the odd guy like obviously Sidney Crosby who's just an epiphany. He's having an unbelievable season again in Pittsburgh. I mean Pittsburgh's struggling. I still think they're going to move Crosby at the deadline, but we'll still talk about that later
Well,
on.
he still has one full year, but well, yeah, we will
But we'll
talk about
talk
it
about
later.
that probably on Thursday. 'Cause I think the trade deadline's on Friday, so we can talk about it then. But it's crazy. Like these careers end. Like they start and then they finish and it's over. And it's that quick. Like 2015 when that Jays team was rolling, almost they probably could have should have maybe won a World Series with Anthopoulos grab those guys. But that team is a long time ago. Like he had a 13-year career and it's just over. Like it's
What?
and that's it. You're done.
And take
So
and
there shouldn't be a surprise that his career's over. But you're like 3 years ago this guy was good and then now he's not.
you think about the myopic fan base that the Toronto Blue Jays had at that time, right? Because they were mad at the organization. I think they let Anthopoulos go first, and then the new
Mm-hmm.
management team came in, and they didn't sign David Price. They didn't sign Bautista. They didn't sign Donaldson. Where are those three guys right now?
Done.
If they would have done what the fan base wanted to do, they would be paying them millions of dollars to sit on the bench with other teams. It's tough decisions that have to be made, and it's up to the player sooner or later. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's sometimes up to the game. And what are you willing to do? Like I would imagine Donaldson would gladly play for someone for league minimum next year. But it's you're a douchebag and you're not good, and those two things don't really sell well on a resume.
Well, and what do you bring into a team? And like
Exactly.
if you have a career like he's had, which is a really good career, like he made a lot of money. At what point do you go? Do you save a little face and go? Maybe I should kind of quit while I'm ahead. I can go and play in Pittsburgh for $1 million a year. But Jesus, like it be kind of a bad look. Like you want to keep
Terrible
playing
look.
forever, but like you know what? Like sitting around a clubhouse, like what do you bring into a team like Pittsburgh who's not going to do fuck all? You're not teaching anybody. You're not striving for a championship. You're not doing anything. Like it's you probably could have played somewhere or got a minor league tryout somewhere. You would think, but like eventually, like maybe I should quit while I'm ahead and not have that embarrassing kind of a not embarrassing, but that stigma. Yeah, it'd be embarrassing a little bit. It'd be a kick in the pills to other than embarrassing. It'd be a kick in the pills to go down to minor league camp when you're 36, 37 years old, whatever he is, and some 21-year-old kid's just doing the exact same thing you are, and you want to play for 8 million because that's what you think your day-to-day value is worth, and some other kid's trying to play for 750 grand. I mean, and you know what? You got to commend. Maybe that's the thing. You know what? Let somebody else give it a shot. I'm done. Let's let a kid into the league and see what they can do.
Yeah, but there's the chasing the ring thing, and then there's also a player like Donaldson. Um, so if memory serves, he started his career with Oakland, and that's where the Jays got him from. And then that's when he had his clearly his best 3 years of his career. And then after the Jays, he bounced around. Teams are clearly happy to see him walk away. No one like he's not a it, when I see a career trajectory like that, it says to me that this guy isn't a great locker room guy. I'm going to compare him to Albert Pujols, who had the beginning of a Hall of Fame career with St. Louis. St. Louis said we're not willing to pay you that much, and Anaheim did. And then he went on and had some super good years with Anaheim, and then he came back to finish it off and do the rocking chair run with St. Louis. And everybody gets to feel good about it at the end. Who's going to feel good about trotting the president of the Josh Donaldson fan club around for 162 games? Nobody. And the reasons are the clubs, not mine. But if he was a good guy, I'm going to say a name like Russell Martin when he came from
See, and
the Dodgers.
Martin, when he went to Jays and everywhere else he went afterwards, he was a great locker room guy. He's a
Loved
great
him.
player.
Loved him.
Yeah. And no one's ever besmirched, to my knowledge. I shouldn't say no one. I'm sure somebody was pissed off at Russell Martin for whatever reason, but Martin was a solid player no matter where he went. So I remember when he was a Yankee for that short period of time. He was great there. Like, and then he went to Dodgers. And he was a Blue Jay, and that, like, on and on it goes. Like, Martin was a great. He was Pittsburgh Pirates as well. Martin's a definite. Canadian baseball Hall of Fame, obviously. Yeah. Clubhouse guy, solid individual, and just a guy you want on your team for your younger guys. Yeah, it's crazy to think that. It's you get back to the other two guys. We've been hammering on Donaldson, the President Josh Donaldson fan club. Actually, you got that one off before I did tonight. Usually, I'm the first one to get that one off. But the other guy that we'll touch back on Kelce here. It's too bad to say that, like, because of his position as a center, he's not a sexy position. Like, you and I aren't the nuts and bolts of a football team, like those kind of guys. Like, there are people who obviously they love Jason Kelce and the Philadelphia Eagles and blah blah blah, and they know more about that. But it's too bad that his career is kind of going to be remembered a little bit by like the average football fan as Travis Kelce's brother, right? Like, he had a great career. Like, he got himself a Super Bowl. He might be a Hall of Fame, like you said. Who knows what the lineup is to get in the Hall of Fame? I personally don't. But it's kind of too bad that a guy who seems like a really solid guy, likes to have a good time, was a great football player, he's kind of going to be remembered a little bit as Travis Kelce's brother. Because Kelce, even before the Swiftie thing, Kelce's been the more vocal guy, the more media friendly guy, the more clickbait guy, I guess. Maybe not media friendly, but more of a clickbait guy. And so it's too bad that it kind of got to that point, but it didn't. It's not going to hurt Jason Kelce's post career advertising endorsement stuff.
No, and long before his brother started dating that pop star, they had their podcast, and I don't listen to it myself. But the podcast I do listen to, they talk about it and they say it's great. And he's so personal and so likable. And it's clearly that he's loved by his Philadelphia teammates. And when you see a player like that who's had a long career, he has his ring. You're never going to get an MVP playing as a center. But, that's a very it's almost like the catcher in baseball, right? You got to read defenses, you got to figure shit out, you got to be a smart player as well. It's not all about physicality. And Kelce is loved and cherished by his teammates and the fan base, and that goes a long way for me when I look at athletes where I really don't have an inside look at their career and how good they may or may not be, but just the way the fan base is going to miss them. I think it says a lot about a person when their playing career is done, what the fan reactions are, because I don't see a lot of tributes like hashtag Josh Donaldson fan club going out.
No, No, there isn't. Like Josh Donaldson trending is probably all a lot of negative things right now. If he is trending on Twitter,
Don't
good.
let the
Fuck
door hit
him.
you.
Good. Whatever. Fuck
Yeah.
off. See you later. Which is too bad. I mean, the guy. I mean, you put it on yourself a lot, but
Well, it's not too bad, right? It's the way you conduct yourself in the day to day, and I like look at all you Yankee fans. Like you guys are livid that he was. You're happy that he was on the IR.
when
Like
they signed
he
him, I was
was.
like, that's a fucking huge mistake. Or when they traded for him,
It's
I said
so
that's
stupid.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like how do like how it's not just Donaldson, it's not just the Yankee thing. How can if the entire fan base is saying this is stupid, and no matter what sport, if the entire fan base is saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" How does it still happen? Like you said it with some of your Bronco guys and everything. Like you go, "What the what?"
This does not. I do not get it. I do not get it. I say that all the time. Sometimes I'm wrong. It seems like, and maybe it's just recency bias. It seems like I'm right more often than I'm not. But like, how does this make fucking sense? I don't get it. I do not get it.
Well, let's get into it, Dave. Let's get into the I don't get it thing. I get now why Russell Wilson's gone. I'm sure you're a happy guy today. Like it was kind of the writing was been on the wall for a while, but the Russell Wilson era is over. Like it's officially over in Denver. Another career, who knows where that's going to go. And it was a signing and a trade and everything else. Everybody thought it was going to be a great one. I did personally. We've talked about it a lot over the years, and got gradually worse and worse as the 2 seasons he played for Denver. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And then Sean Payton and him were cracking heads all season long. And the Nathaniel Hackett thing, we beaten that one to death. But this was a situation everybody knew was coming to an end. Russell Wilson probably knew it was coming to an end. His time in Denver, he was probably told about it a long, long time ago. It wasn't news to him. It wasn't clickbait for him today when it came across the wire. Just didn't work. It just didn't work.
Didn't work. And whatever. Denver, the front office took a big swing. I remember talking about it on the podcast. Like I was excited when it happened. I thought he was someone that had a chance to bring Denver back to respectability. But like watching him play, I will give a bit of blame to Nathaniel Hackett not having a fucking clue how to be a head coach of an NFL football team. But then like this year too, like fucking get bent. The thing that pisses me off the most is that Denver's on the hook for so much dead salary cap. But what do? Cut bait. Like you're gonna pay the fucker anyways. Like you always say, we're paying you to lose. You might as well.
We
You
lost
might
with
as
you,
well
lose
put.
without you.
Yeah, exactly. Not here because we're not getting any further ahead. And you had the chance last year, and I don't care what anyone says. I get it. Sean Payton is a prick, and I get it that they didn't
Peyton
see
Peyton
eye to
came
eye.
in. Peyton came in with not the sole purpose, but just hear me out. Peyton came in with the sole purpose to get rid of fucking Russell Wilson.
I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. It was to get Russell Wilson and to get him to do the things that he had to do to make the offense work, and they did. For once he got on the same page, the Denver started winning games. They started winning games. They beat fucking KC this year. And then I get it that Denver wasn't the only team to beat KC, but they beat KC. They beat some good teams this year. They and then Russell Wilson I think Russell Wilson loves what he sees in the mirror too much. Like, with his soul glow and his rock star girlfriend or whatever the fuck is going on there behind the scenes. I think he was a little butthurt, and that's what took him 4 or 5 weeks to figure out what was going on this season when he got his dance club taken away from him in the second story building and all that kind of thing. And once he started getting treated like a regular, he figured it out, but then he thought, this is obviously my own opinion. He figured it out for a couple of weeks, and he started thinking like maybe I am the difference maker again. And god damn, I haven't seen a quarterback who I expected to be smart miss so many reads than that guy. Like, I just can't understand his play by watching him play. I can't understand it. And then that's it. And then so like hit the fucking bricks.
Like I thought he was really good in Seattle, and obviously Super Bowl, and should have won two if he would have just handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch. They would have had two, and then that puts him in a Hall of Fame discussion. Now all of a sudden, Russell Wilson's just another guy. He's just another guy who played football.
Totally another
He's
guy.
another quarterback. He's another guy who, maybe he overachieved. And maybe the GMs were wrong. Like that made in Denver who made that trade. Maybe all the scouts and the offensive coordinators. Yeah, we got to go and get this guy. Maybe they were just wrong. Like that, and that happens. I mean, it happens in every sport all the time. But to swing and miss like that. And and not so much the player, because if someone offers you fucking $50 million bucks, you're taking it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But for once again, for the management team, whoever makes the decisions to give him that much money, for them to make that decision, this is on the management team of the Denver Broncos, where they just fucking blew their load over a guy who maybe just wasn't that good.
Yeah, and I hear it like I'll put it in the parlance of playing poker, right? You're trying to bluff a guy, and then all of a sudden you go all in. I'm in. Like, oh fuck, that guy called me way too quick. I'm fucked. Like, and as soon as Denver sent that offer sheet to Seattle, they were like, "Yep." Like 2 seconds later.
Well, like you could compare it to the Kachuk and what's his name trade to Calgary. What the fuck's that guy? Huberto. You can compare it to that.
Yep.
Right?
We'll do it. Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. Like the other side agreed to get rid of a 100-point guy.
135-point guy.
135-point guy. Yeah, good. 100%. He's yours. And then look what I'm watching the Flames game right now. I haven't seen him on the ice yet. So it's one of those like, so maybe there's a very good comparison right there to that trade. But yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
When someone is happy to let him go, you have to ask
now
why.
We don't have to pay this guy because this is what his market value stats, his analytics say. It says this is what he's going to make. No matter what, someone's going to pay him this. But it ain't going to be me. Thank you.
Because we're here every day. We see this is an anomaly season. Everything fell right, and there's no way he's going to be like this player for the next 6 to 7 years. Never mind what he may or may not be like in the locker room. And I don't know that about Huberto because, like, from what I have read about him, he is a really good guy, and the players like him. But you don't pay guys. That's what Jamie McClellan's there for. To pay league minimum and be a good locker room guy. That's what Paul Bissonnette is, to be a good locker room guy.
Yeah.
You're not giving $10 million bucks a year to locker room guys. You're giving $10 million bucks a year to guys that are going to earn your team victories on the ice.
You ain't giving a fucking NFL quarterback $40 million a year to be a good guy.
No. The only thing I can hope for is that Jerry Jones is going to, quote unquote, reset the market with Dak Prescott next year. Because, like, if I want him to pay Dak's $40 million a year so bad, I want that to happen.
Doesn't really have a choice. Like that, and that's the thing.
Let him walk. Let him fucking walk. Take Russell Wilson and let Dak walk.
That's the thing. Like the quarterback market, it is so out of control. That's just what they cost to have a fucking mediocre quarterback.
But not like so. So next year, Pat Mahomes is going to be the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league, behind Burrow, behind Herbert, behind Josh Allen, behind Dak Prescott. Fuck that. They got to figure it out, those owners, because Dak
They
Prescott,
won't.
let him fucking walk.
What's
I take
what's fucked up about
who's better, Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins?
They're both the same guy.
They're the same guy. They're the same fucking guy.
I was reading today. I was scrolling through something. I can't remember what it was, and I saw that Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay are at a cross off or a standoff. Like, what better is Tampa Bay gonna do? Like, and you're a huge fucking like, I'm surprised you don't have a Baker Mayfield fucking jersey. But,
I do like Baker Mayfield. I
no,
like
and
his
and you're a huge Mayfield guy. But
yeah.
So why is Tampa holding off on him?
Well, but then, like, maybe Baker's gonna have the 1-star on his helmet next year. You could get Baker wearing a 1-star for $25 million a year. Why would you pay Dak 40 when you could pay Baker 25?
You'll have to get maybe see if we can hook up Jim, the fan of the Van Plotner, on here and see what he's thinking about the quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. Would he rather have a guy like Baker Mayfield? Would he rather have Russell Wilson? Would he rather have a Dak Prescott? Or are they going to go back there for one more year with what's his name?
Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just
what do you want to have? Like Jim, who do you want to have? Like, actually, we'll put this up there. Jim, who would you rather have? Pickett, Wilson, Prescott, or Baker? Because they're out there.
They are out there. Yeah, I would take Baker as a Bronco for $25 million a year. He ain't gonna sign for $25 million though.
No, he's gonna get more than that.
Yeah,
he had a really good year last year.
Can't pay him more than 30, but that's and that's the cruel fate of it, right? Is that's what it costs for, unless you have a rookie. That's what it costs for a competent quarterback these days. Geno Smith re-signed with Seattle. Yeah, and I don't know the numbers on this, but I think they gave him a 2-year deal. But when you sign Geno Smith, that's just saying we don't have anyone better right now.
Or there's nobody better coming through.
Yeah. Right? Or we don't have the draft pick, or maybe they will take a draft pick and take a flyer and hopefully find a Purdy.
I will never, after the top, we talk about this fucking here and there. I would never, after the top fucking 4 or 5 guys, it's such a fucking crapshoot. I wouldn't put, in any sport, I wouldn't put anything on just another fucking kid. Nothing.
Well, you have to, right? Because you don't win Super Bowls without a good quarterback. Not in the last 20 years, right? So,
how many quarterbacks have won Super Bowls last 20 years? 5.
Well, that's my point, right? You find your one, and then you're there. Like now you have a chance every year, and and then I realized
it's a national quarterback league, not even a football league anymore.
But Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson have shown they can do it. Like, well, no, they haven't shown they can do it.
They haven't shown fuck all.
No, but they have. They've won their conference championship. They've gotten the number 1 seed. They've gone 2 Super Bowls, but they haven't won it because there's been the big boys on the block, and they only won in the last 5 years. Well, shit, in the last 20 years, who are the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks? Tom Brady, Peyton Manning,
Big Ben.
I that's getting a long time too. But Big Ben and Matt Stafford. Right? That's it. That's fucking it. So
because when Flacco got his, that was in 2002. So that's 22 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or 2001.
Well, no, 2013 or 14, because that was the day I punched the wall. When they beat Peyton Manning. I've talked about that. I did punch a wall. But nonetheless, I'm not going to.
I've ever punched a wall over a sporting event that I was not participating in. The one that I participated in, I have punched a wall. I have spazzed in an event that I was playing in. I went turbo a time or two when I was in my playing days.
It wasn't turbo.
Well,
I
it was
didn't go.
spaz. It was spaz because we used to do spaz and turbo, right? Spaz or
Yeah.
turbo. We got to bring that one
Yes.
back. Maybe we'll bring that one back on Thursday. Spaz or turbo.
We'll try and figure one out. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't spaz. I totally wouldn't spaz. And like I said, I wanted, like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I wanted John Fox fired before the teams took the field for overtime. Fuck, was I mad at him? What a piece of shit fucking head coach. Fuck, plays for ties with the highest scoring offense of all fucking time. We went and fucking played for a tie and put your chances on a goddamn coin flip after you didn't fucking say, don't let anyone get behind you. That's it. That's it.
Of the three guys, Dave, we'll wrap this up for this segment, anyways. But of the three guys we just discussed,
Kelce,
Super
John,
Bowl, Wilson, Super Bowl, Josh Donaldson, MVP. Which career would you rather had of the three guys?
Kelce won a Super Bowl, so I'll give it to him. I'll give him, and he's a very likable guy. Like I haven't heard ever anybody say anything bad about Kelce. Russell Wilson, Josh Donaldson can fuck right off. He's all about himself. That's all he cares about. He carries his own
He was
rookie
good,
card
though.
in his. He was good for a year, and there is an argument to be made that he actually robbed that MVP from Mike Trout. Mike Trout did have a better
Fuck
year,
Mike Trout.
but the Jays had a sexier season, and he was a contributing member of it. Russ Wilson, Super Bowl MVP as a rookie, Pro Bowler quite a few times, actually, like a very solid career with Seattle. But you listen to Seattle teammates talk about him. He was a terrible fucking teammate. Terrible fucking teammate. No one had his number. If you wanted to get a hold of him, you had to call his person. He never gave his digits. Like, that's so fucking weird. And like you're a public persona. You're married to what's her name? Cialis. Cialis, like his wife has a fucking career.
Sierra?
I have no fucking clue. I would say everybody. When I say everybody, it's what I read. Like like pop star, like fuck. I don't have a fucking clue what she fucking sings.
I mean, we're 50 though, so yeah.
We are 50. Like, yeah. So him and Cialis.
But you might have. Well, actually, my wife's a fucking poppy fucking pop or something too. So whatever. But like I was gonna say, you might have more of a fighting chance than I do. Jasper might listen to some tunes here and there. But
not in the house. It's all about the car, and in the car, mom and dad have a little bit more sway over the playlist.
A little more yank around the fucking the Subaru.
Well, fuck. If dad's driving, I got to be able to tolerate the music I'm playing.
No, it's crazy how like those three guys are household names. Their careers just kind of took a big turn today, and and it's just another like it's just like Wilson. I think will play again. I don't think it's a lock that he starts somewhere next year because it's still.
Oh, for sure he will.
Well,
no, he will.
Okay, where and why? Where and why?
Maybe Pittsburgh.
Why?
Because they need help. They need help. Pickett ain't the answer. Maya Rudolph isn't the answer. Maya Rudolph is what he's been in that. They cut him and they brought him back in Pittsburgh.
Well, they cut him again just recently, didn't they?
Well, no, they cut Trubisky. But maybe Maya Rudolph has a fucking
same guy. Who cares? Mitch Trubisky.
Whatever. Trubisky and
Rudolph or whatever. Fuck. Same guy.
Maybe Atlanta, depending on what they do there. There's rumors of everything going on there. Depending what they do with Baker Mayfield in Tampa. If Baker signs someplace else, maybe he might go there.
So is there just a lack of quarterback? Because if it didn't work one place, why the fuck would it work somewhere else?
Because it has worked once, and that one time was in Seattle.
Or was it just the team?
Yeah, and maybe it was the team.
Maybe it was the coach. Maybe the silver fox himself, Pete Carroll, caught lightning in a bottle. Maybe it had nothing to do with Russell fucking Wilson.
So what you're saying is maybe Russell Wilson audibled into that pass as opposed to handing it off to...
You never fucking know. Who knows?
You don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Like, but there's like maybe Minnesota. Who knows where Kirk Cousins goes next year?
Kirk Cousins plays for the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers, and Jim, the fan of the Van Plotner, pulls out what's left of his hair.
Hey? Pack that fucking better get them for just like those cheap stogies, because you're going to be smoking a lot of them on Sundays this year, buddy.
Be down to half a lung by the time the season's over next year.
Because you can't blame Canada anymore.
Don't blame Canada. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Bigger Sports Talk and a whole lot more. This segment was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. And give Jim, the fan of the van, his great show a listen over there. Him and Garrett did a Steel and Teal earlier on over the weekend, so make sure to give that one a listen to. Always entertaining. Listen to those guys. We'll have to have them on our show in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. Anyways.
Well, the dog days are coming, right? Well, they're here, right? We can't talk about NBA. Well, maybe hey, Garrett, watch a fucking NHL game or two, and we can talk about that.
That's actually a good idea. What did you see?
We're always talking football. Yeah.
What did you see?
How did you like it? Yeah.
Fill me in.
Yeah. Who is your NHL team?
What's an offside? Actually, let's have him on. Let's have him on and do not National Hockey League trivia. National or hockey, and not to make fun.
No. What we should do is have a watching party. Let's do it during a game kind of thing.
We'll figure something out.
Let's find a game.
Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Bigger Sports Talk and a whole lot more.